Hello, good evening, everyone. Hello, hi everyone. I'm Charmaine from Malaysia. I'll be your host for tonight. So I'm very, very happy to be with all of you tonight. But I guess I shouldn't be just wishing a good evening to all of you. Probably you're from another part of the world. It will be morning to you. So good morning, good afternoon, and probably you're at your midnight trying to go to bed. So I'm very, very happy to be here today to meet all of you. Yeah, today is a very special day because I'm from Malaysia and we have two speakers coming from different parts of the world. We have our teacher Brian coming from Mexico, but currently he's residing in Taiwan. We also have teacher Olga from Ukraine. So you can imagine we are from different part of the world. Yeah, hello. I see Laura and Daniel from Romania. Yeah, you kind of know what I wanted to ask, right? Yeah. So if you do not mind, you can actually share with me where do you come from. But while you are sharing with me where do you come from, you can also use this time, yeah, to invite your friends not to miss our session today. Yeah, hello, Kurt. Hello. Yeah, I see someone from US, Arizona. Yeah, so do spend your few minutes, right, while waiting for us to get started. We can actually invite our friends to join us tonight because this is gonna be a fantastic session. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that two speakers have prepared a lot of things to share with us tonight. Yeah, because I know, right, whether they will share 100% or 50% depending on the crowd. If the crowd is just going to be 16 of us tonight, I don't think they will feel motivated to share with us more. Yeah, so I think we really need to boost up the numbers. We can reshare this Zoom link to our friends and invite them to be here because this is something amazing that we really want to do it with our friends. Yeah, I just along the way, I would like to also know from all of you, is this your first session joining us? Or you have been you have been joining us since the session, the first day? Yeah, if you are with us since the session one, you can put one in the chat box, or you are here together with us for the third session, you can put three. Oh, I see Verena is the first time. Hi, welcome. This is session two for us. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter, if whether you are first session, second session, or third session, right? Anytime if you want to go back to, you miss any of the session, you can always go back to the replay in our YouTube channel to get all the amazing sharing by our speakers. Yeah, I also see a lot of familiar faces like Teacher Xiao Yi. We have had a lot of people from different part of the world. Some people that have know them. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. I see Harry here. Yeah, Harry joined us is our session two as well. Yeah, thank you everyone for your response. Really, really very happy to see all of this. Okay, so let me give all of you, our new friends, some overview. What is this session all about? Yeah. Okay, there we go. So this session is actually, today's session is automatic leadership, where we will talk, it will be a 5-week series. Yeah, and then this whole session, it will be a 20 sessions about automatic leadership. It's a marathon created by DCI Global and SCIM. So across these 20 sessions, we will be exploring different aspects of leadership, from communicating to influencing, trust, and team building, emotional intelligence, and how do we make people follow us. I think that's the key thing, right? If you want to have a team, we want our team to listen to us, to follow us, right? Yeah. So these 20 sessions, we will go deeper through a series of 5 waves of leadership journey. These 5 ways are designed to help us to understand how leadership is developed from inside and out. Each wave explore a different part of leadership. So why leadership can sometimes feel difficult? I think most of us, if we have a team, we feel that it's difficult. But don't worry, through our sessions, we can learn more, and we will go into the deeper root of influence, the root cause of influencing, decision making, and leadership challenges. How can we overcome the challenges and communicate to inspire and build a team and become someone others naturally trust and follow? So how many of you you want this in your life. Wow, I like Harry. You have shared to 10% already. Thank you so much. Yep. So we all want this, right? So tonight is gonna be another important piece that will help us with our leadership growth. Yeah. So, like I say, today we are at our third session. Our first session was on the last Saturday, and a couple of days ago we had our session two, and today we are at our third session. And this is a very, very important topic because many people may have power, titles or influence, but real leadership goes much deeper than that. True leadership is becoming someone people trust and respect and genuinely want to follow. And tonight, through our both speakers, we'll explore what helps create that kind of leadership. So before we continue, just a few reminders. Please keep your microphone muted unless you want to speak because we do not want to interrupt the session. It's going to be amazing. And feel free to stay active in the chat throughout the sessions. If you have any questions, thoughts, please put in the chat box so our speakers can hear from you, can see from you, and they feel connected as well. And now, we are very fortunate to have two wonderful speakers with us tonight. Before we begin, I think we should give them a warm welcome, right? We should flood the chat with flowers, diamonds, and hearts, or even fire to get it started. Yeah. And I see some flowers emojis to welcome our host. I think if not, right, they won't feel very motivated to come on stage today. Because as a speaker myself, right, I really want to see the energy, and this energy can really bring our speakers out 100%. Yeah. So maybe our IT can help Laura and Daniel as well. Okay, so yeah, are you guys excited for tonight? Yeah, I see. Thank you for all the response. I myself, I'm very, very excited because I personally have not really heard from both speakers before, but I know both of them will definitely deliver their best because, wow, this topic is important, very, very important. Yeah. And then, like I said, today, okay, it's going to be an amazing 2 hour sharing session by our teachers. So our first teacher, right, will be Teacher Brian. Teacher Brian, like I say, originally he's from Mexico, currently based in Taiwan. So how many of you are from Mexico and Taiwan, right? You have to give more love to this teacher. Okay, and Teacher Brian has been practicing this system for over 10 years, dedicating himself deeply to studying and also teaching in real life. He's one of our SCIM speakers, also serving as IT directors for our DCIG and SCIM. Not only that, he's also our lead translator of the ancient DCC text into Spanish. And I think the most amazing part of the success stories that Teacher Brian has, one of it, right, is to create a beautiful piece of his own life, including, right, planting a wonderful wife, building strong relationship with his family and friends. I think this is what all of us want as well. So tonight, if you're hearing from someone who has truly tested these ideas, right, and practice it into life and life as well, I'm sure you do not just want to listen all this information. You can also ask yourself, through this teacher sharing, right, how can you apply it into your life? What kind of leadership I want? What kind of person I want to become? Yeah, so before I invite Teacher Brian out, once again, continue to shower Teacher Brian with lots of love and flowers into the chat. Yeah, and so then he can get ready and share with us. So Teacher Brian, well, I welcome you on stage. Over to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much, Charmaine. Great hosting and welcome. And I'm very excited to be here. And I'm very honored to be with teacher Olga also, sharing the stage, the digital stage. The topic today is going to be something very exciting. You will see me looking down sometimes and looking up sometimes and looking to the camera sometimes. And that's because I have you in one part of the screen and then the PPT in another part of the screen, and then the camera is in another one. So I hope that doesn't bother you too much. As Charmaine mentioned, I'm from Mexico, but my beautiful wife is from Taiwan. So I moved maybe 2 years ago here, and I have been practicing the ideas of DCIG and SEIM. If you don't know what DCI and SEIM are, I can tell you that they are two sister organizations. And the purpose of these two organizations are pretty much sharing ideas from the Himalayas that have been in the world for hundreds of years. And the reason why DCIG and SCIM exist and share these ideas is because what we find in those ancient teachings is something that is actually applicable to the modern life. We have a common saying that says, if it has survived for this many years and many people is still using them, then maybe there's some value there. And one of the main things that we talk about in this special marathon, in this special series of teachings, is about leadership. We are soon to come have a program in Singapore that is going to talk. It's an entire level of 12 life tools that speak of how leadership can be something that just happens for you. That means that you don't look for that leadership. The leadership just comes to you. It's kind of like when you put some perfume on you and you smell like it, and then if the perfume is very good, people will approach you, and then they will start to, in this case, follow you. And that's the kind of leadership that we're talking about. We're not talking about the kind of leadership that you would kind of like impose in people by whatever job position you have or whatever weapons you may possess or things that those weird things that happen in our world. And the particular topic that we're going to discuss today is actually the difference between having power or setting up the power over people and what leadership, real leadership is. So for that, I'm going to share with you a couple of ideas that I hope will give you a sense, an idea of how is it that we would differentiate between true leadership and actually see scenarios where people is just trying to push their power over others. And the core idea of this whole, of today basically, is how trying to control people actually creates a resistance from people, while true leadership creates willingness from people to follow you, to respect what you have to say, to do what you share with them, to listen really what you have to share with them. And the point is that the source of these ideas that we share in DCI and SCIM are teachers that hundreds of people willingly follow. You know, in our modern world, we have many different kinds of leaders. We have business leaders, we have politicians, we have many kinds. But there are only a very few of them who people willingly follow. And most of them are people that do amazing things for others. And that's why they are followed. Like the first name that came to my mind was Mahatma Gandhi, for example. Or we could also think of Mother Teresa, right? Princess Diana, even artists like John Lennon or Elvis Presley, people that actually created some high value in people's lives. And we can also talk about examples of people that over that put their use their power to frighten people. And we see resistance. And maybe some of them just prevail for some years, but eventually they end up finding resistance. So there's a big illusion in the world. In one hand, we have those people that have certain leadership over others just because they have a kind of title that will set them in a position where they can indicate others what to do, let's say. We see this in business world all the time, right? I have a boss. My boss has a boss. The boss of my boss has a boss. And I'm even boss of some people. And there are some bosses in between that network of bosses that would actually put their value as leaders on how they control others. And on the other hand, we have those natural leaders that are followed by others willingly again, just because they inspire them and because their mindsets aligned to those leaders. Now, for the first part of my talk, we're going to talk about in terms of things that you probably already know. And then I'm going to introduce you a little bit into what DCIG sees differently. And my hope is that teacher Olga gives us a little more detail on how the perspective of DCIG actually help us to become better leaders. All right? So I see her nodding, so I'm hopeful. Thank you. So then we have another situation, which is the hidden cost of control. And the hidden cost of control is that when we try to force people to do what we want them to do, the only thing that we receive in exchange is fear and silence. And we already mentioned this, we get resistance from them. And eventually, one of the worst results that we can get from this is some kind of fatigue. And this fatigue comes from the supposedly leader and from the people that is supposed to follow them. When we try to put our ideas and our power over people, what we get is a lot of frustration and friction from those people. And then that has the secondary effect of having innovation dying in our companies. And then people start to do the minimum just to satisfy your needs or satisfy the things that you ask for. And in fact, they are not willing to do more, and they are not willing to perform better to benefit you. If we talk about the business world, to benefit the company and to benefit themselves even. So we have two paradigms here, right? One of them is the power-based idea. The primary motivator of that one is I just simply avoid the consequence. The employees become kind of like transactional and rule-bound. That means if you ask, I do, and that's it. And I will just follow the rules, and that's it. I won't go beyond that. And then the hidden and most hurtful enemy that we can find in this situation is the burnout and the quiet quitting. And this is pretty much, they don't say anything, they don't express anything, they just start lacking interest in the company goals, in what you have to say. They start even losing the energy to fight you whenever they don't agree with you. And they just go with the flow, but not in a good way, in a completely bad way. In their minds, they are already gone. In their minds, they're already not part of the team. And that's not good for anybody. And then if something happens, their attitude is an attitude of, okay, I'll just wait to see what people has to what the boss has to say about it, and I won't do anything. And I have seen this many times. I have seen it. People that says, I'm not gonna do anything because if I do something and then the boss is in disagree with what I have to decided to do to solve this, then I will get scolded. Or maybe the boss feels that this is overpowering them, and then I will be attacked by the boss. I have seen this happening over and over. And then people just lose the passion, the ownership of the company that they are working for. On the other hand, we have the trust-based commitment, which is natural, healthy leadership. People believe in direction. They know and they understand the whys and the vision of the company, and they walk that path actively. You don't have to ask them. They become proactive, they become innovative, and that can only help. That will always help. Of course, there are cases in which people go off track, and I have to say that I have been that kind of person. But in the end, the nature of these attitudes are we will do something to get to that vision that the company does. And we naturally find solutions to overcome the problems that we see today in the company. And then that people, when they feel this way, when they feel innovative, proactive, respected, when they trust the leader, they will stick in. They won't want to leave. And then they will develop advocacy. They will want to stay and be part of it. And they will. In Mexico, we have a saying, which is they put the shirt on. Football, soccer in Mexico is a big thing. So you want to wear the jersey of your favorite football team. So when we say you want to put the shirt on, it's pretty much like you want to put the shirt that represents your team, and you want to show the world that you support team A or team B. So that's pretty much the same here. Like people just wear the shirt of the company and they tell, look, I work for DCI and I'm proud of it. Or I work for whatever organization. And then they become part of the branding of the company in a way, because they are so happy there that the reputation that they give to the company is like thumbs up. I mean, look at Google, look at Apple, people wearing the logos on the street just because they feel proud of taking part in those companies. And I have never worked there, but I have heard pretty cool stuff about them. And that's the last part of this chart, right? Collective ownership. That is pretty much how the team owns the mission of the company and the branding of the company. And listen, I'm talking about companies and business because this is kind of like a very clear idea where leadership in both ways. Sorry. This is the area where both kinds of leadership are seen easily. But we can see these examples in real life too. Okay, we can see them in family life. Real life means family life because the work life is just an illusion. The real thing comes when you get home. And you can either be a partner that overrules your wife or your husband or your kids, or you can be a partner or parent that actually the rest of the family wants to follow. So the anatomy of willingness is building the foundation, and I'm going to read it because I think it's great. Building the foundation for high impact followership through shared vision and psychological safety. And I think that last part is something very important to consider. Psychological safety, which is something that in many areas of the world is not really openly spoken. What is the effect that overpowering people have in their minds? How does that affect their happiness in general? Because that whatever outcome comes from how you treat people will directly affect their whole performance. Again, at work, if we're talking about children at school, if we're talking about partners, how the partner performance in the family life, you know, like, is the relationship something that they want to be in, or they're just in because they're used to it? And that's important. That's because those are the things that really matter. Leadership is not something that comes in governments or that comes in business. Okay. Thank you, Albi. I see your message. Okay, so there are three pillars of trust that we can build to keep our teams. One is integrity. Of course, that means that that what you say is what you do. You preach the walk. You are reliable, okay, to your team. And that is important because we can find some leaders that they just say one thing and then they do something completely different, or then they say one thing and then they completely change the plan, not caring really how that will affect the team. Then we gotta be empathetic to them. We have to understand that yes, they are hired to work and they are hired to do something for the company, but they're still humans. And if we don't keep that in mind, if we don't care for them, not only physically, but also emotionally, then we will lose them easily. As opposed as if we do, then boom, they alone will be they will be giving much more than we can expect from them. And I have seen people that whenever you start giving them a little more trust and a little more responsibilities, and you start to care more about their lives at the same time, they just pop up. It's like a complete transformation of who they are because they know they care for you. In my team in DCI, I'm not sure if they know, and there's a lot of things I do for them. The team that works for me, that maybe they think that the company is doing for them, but it's actually coming from me and my wife. And I have seen how they become more responsive because we're all humans, right? We all make mistakes. And whenever I come and share with them like the things that they are not performing very well, they are always very open to listen, and they are always very open to perform better. And I think that comes from this part of empathy. And in this part of empathy, I would say is the core of the difference between DCIG and other systems that teach about leadership. And when we talk about the shared vision, we're talking about the why of the team that you are leading. Okay. Now we can talk about families too. What's the why of the family that you are leading? In Mexico, we say that to the eyes of the public, the leader of the family is the man. But when the door is closed, the real leader is the wife. So, and I see a lot of women here. So you are the true leaders of your families. So I ask you, what is the why of your family? And if you want your whole family to share that the vision of that why, then you gotta act from the we. Okay, you don't have to act from the what I think is the right thing, what I think you should do, what I think is the right thing to do. Is more like what do we all agree on? And of course, if we're talking about a team that you are leading or little children that you are leading, you will hear what they have to say, but in the end, you have the overall view and you will be giving the final call. But you have to be open to listen to what they have to tell you. And there's there's a couple of things that people like agencies have analyzed regarding performance, engagement, and other important metrics or key metrics when it comes to how people lead other people. And we see this 76% of engagement that comes from a couple of agencies that show that whenever we lead properly, whenever we lead with these three pillars, the results that we get is that the productivity of people just goes up by 50%, and then the burnout drops 40%. Because burnout is actually something that comes more from a psychological cause than the actual physical work that you can do or that workers can do. And I can share that from experience. When I started in DCI, it was COVID was just hitting. And then there was a big change in the structure of the company. And in the end, only two people were left, mainly. And then a whole shift happened in which DCI and ACIM used to be two in-person companies of events in person. And then we had to change everything online. And a lot of that work relied on me, who is the IT department. And I didn't have a team. It was pretty much me. And of course, I had people helping me, like my boss and other people. But mainly, it fell on me. And I had to find solutions. And oh my God, it was stressful. And I cannot count the sleepless nights that I stood in the middle of the night trying to figure out what to do. And then there was this big jump because SEIM, which is the company that trains teachers to teach the DCI system, used to train 30 to 35 people, if I'm not wrong, in person. But when we changed online, all of a sudden we went up to 90 or something. And then nowadays we are 130, 150. And So from serving just 30 people, I went up to 100 people. And I remember that every morning I would wake up and see literally hundreds of messages of people asking for stuff. And that was mainly because we were learning a new system and a lot of things went bad. So people would just freak out like, oh, this is not working. What am I have to do? I need to deliver my homework and this and that. And I can tell you that I didn't burn out in those years because the leadership that I was receiving was this kind of leadership. My psyche was healthy, so there was no burnout because I was emotionally well. Okay, so that's important to see how. And again, this applies, of course, to business world, but it also applies to the family world. Okay. Now, there's a thing that they suggest here, which is called the strategy of vulnerability. And that pretty much is a change from uh, I'm the one that has to be perfect because I'm the leader. I should not make mistakes, and I should always have the answer to the questions of people in my team. I have to be perfect. Otherwise, I will lose my leadership. The proposal here is no way, you have to be vulnerable. And maybe you can change, you can be humble and you can say, okay, you know what? I don't know that, but you're part of the team. What do you have to say? What do you think about this? How can we solve this together? I cannot remember exactly who, but there was an important person that said, if you're leading maybe it may have been Henry Ford, the founder of the cars Ford company. He may be the one that says, if you're the smartest person in the room, if you're leading a team and you're the smartest person in the room, you have a problem. You want a team of people that is way smarter than you, and that they are the ones that will make your vision possible. Okay, that's pretty much what they're saying here. Like, let go your need of controlling everything, every little detail. Everything has to be perfect. Let that go and just see the team work it out. That will bring us to this, which is, if you trust, the efficiency will just go up. Okay, 3.3 times they calculate that the efficiency goes up if you lead a high trust team. The market average, of course, is the baseline. We don't count that one. But people that don't trust their leader would drop down to have the efficiency that they would have in a regular base, in a regular scenario. Okay, half of the performance. But instead, I want you to please pay attention to the contrast of this. Yes, if the team doesn't trust you, then their performance, their efficiency will go to half of the baseline. But if they trust you and they trust you well, their efficiency will increase 3 times what they are doing now. And finally, there's this little path that we can follow to develop a kind of leadership that is healthier for us. First, we can make an audit of what's going on. We ask ourselves if the people in the team are following because they want to or because they have to. Maybe they are just following because they need an income and they really don't want to be there. You know? And I see on social media, I see like a lot of content creators talking about, oh, when my boss comes and yells at me, what I say is, oh, yes, of course, boss. But what I really think is, oh, you go to hell, stupid boss. And people, there's a lot of people reacting to those content, to those videos. Like, yes, it's the same. That's what I think. That's exactly what happens in my head. That tells us the problem of leadership there's in the world. In the second week or the second step, let's say, we would have to replace the I tell you what to do for I ask you, and then I actively listen what you have to say and together come up with a solution. It's not like there's this problem and I tell you what to do. There's this problem, how would you solve it, and how do we do it together? The third stage would be that we connect the daily tasks that we have to the big why of the family or the big why of the company. That is important because then we will be giving people a reason. We will be giving them a purpose. And lastly, we would empower people. We will delegate authority. Okay? We will ask people, please take this problem and you solve it. You are the boss of solving this problem. And listen, this is the key of how DCIG, the system of mental seeds and the system of DCIG actually works on leadership. Okay? This is the, how do they call that? Not milestone. I forgot the word in English. The core, thank you, teacher Olga. This is the core of how the whole system works, which is if you want something, then you have to give it to someone else. This is called the deep causes, okay? And we call them deep causes because if you think about a car, we usually think that a car is, we turn it on every time we put the key on. Well, nowadays they have a button. Every time that you push the button and then the engine of the car starts, right? So we think, yeah, the button is the one that makes the car start. But let me ask you something. What if the car does not have a battery? Would the car start? It wouldn't, right? That means that the real cause, the deeper cause that actually makes the car start is something else. It is the battery. Okay? In the DCIG system, we say that we need to work on that deeper cause. And there's a deeper cause for absolutely everything. If you want to learn the deeper cause for automatic leadership, for people listening to you and follow you naturally, then I invite you to come to all these sessions and eventually to check in the program that we will have in Singapore, because that's where we will really go step by step on all the different causes that we require to be an automatic leader. Let's say that you cannot come. I'm going to give you a clue, though, about what could be the deep cause of this. There's this song of the Rolling Stones that is called, if I'm not wrong, it may be called You Can't Always Get What You Want. And what the song says is, you can't always get what you want, you get what you need. But in the DCI system, thinking of the DCI system, we say you can always get what you want, and you will get what you give. Okay? It's not I can get no satisfaction, but that's a very good one. um, so the core idea is whatever you want in your life, you just gotta give it to someone else. Okay? It's as simple as that. Okay? Don't tell anybody that I told you. But that's the core. That's the core of this. Now, if you really want the specifics, you have to keep coming to these sessions. Okay? Really. And honestly, they're pretty good. I have seen them. The teachers are amazing. So I don't know. Does anybody have a question? It's okay to say no. Oh, cool. Please be my guest. You can write it in the chat, or you can just open your mic and let us know. Okay. Can you? There you go. Or you can type in the chat. That's okay too.
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening.
So what I want to ask, so if uh, let's say if we want to other people to follow us, so we need to have their trust and build it slowly. And if there anything issue, then we let them try to try to solve the problem by themselves. Is that true?
Yes, and but it's more like you don't let them execute directly by themselves. You just ask them like, okay, what's your solution? What's your proposal of a solution? And then if you don't know what could be a good solution, then you discuss it and you debate it and you brainstorm and together get to the answer. Because I have seen cases in which you tell people, okay, you execute, and then more chaos come, right? And I can see you nothing because it happens. So instead of just telling them, okay, you figure it out, solve it alone, you say, okay, you own this, you are the real problem solver of this. But before you execute, we check together, and we come up to we come to an agreement of what really is the solution. Okay. An important thing though, even let's say they come to you with a crappy solution. Okay, their solution is really, really bad, and it would just make things worse. But since you are working together to come up with the latest good solution, the ultimate good solution, even if you had the idea of the ultimate good solution, probably you can tell them, thank you for helping me get to this point. Okay. Thank you, because without you, I wouldn't be able to get to this solution. What do you think the outcome will be from that? You know, it'll be like, oh, I'm appreciated. So then next time I will put more effort on it. And then we all love feeling appreciated. We all love feeling valued and respected. So I'm going to stick to those that make me feel that way, right? And then your company or your project or whatever it is going to be their top priority. from now on. Okay? And there's a deeper cause there. It's not only, I mean, it sounds conventional, but it's something deeper going on there. It looks like you're pushing the button, but there's actually deeper happening there. But I'm not gonna tell you what. If you like meditating, you probably can meditate on it. All right. So that's up for me. Thank you so much for listening. We're gonna take more questions. I've been told. So I invite you to stick, and please, you have to listen to what Teacher Olga is gonna tell you, because her part is better than mine. Over to you, Charmaine.
Wow, thank you so much, Teacher Brian. I think we can keep all our questions later. We're gonna have a fantastic Q&A sessions. Yeah, so what we have learned from Teacher Brian. Okay. I think today through Teachers Brian sharing, we explore how true leadership is built. It's not through fear or control or titles, but it's through trust, empathy, and a lot of visions. So he also shared with us that many people feel respected, emotionally safe, and cared for, and they become naturally engaged with us. Yeah. And importantly, right, leadership is not only in businesses, it also shows up in our families, relationship, and in our daily lives as well. Yep. And of course, teacher Brian also reminded us something very important, the deeper cause behind the automatic leadership. If we want people to follow us, to trust us, to support us, naturally, we must create those seeds first. So how do we create those seeds? Okay, so for today's sharing, right, it's just a little glimpse of what is coming up next in Singapore. We will have this automatic leadership that's coming up in July by Gershon Michael himself. So I would really, really like to invite all of you to make your time to join us. Okay, but today I'm not going to talk more about that, the Singapore part. Okay, next, right, we are going to get excited for Teacher Olga. I think she's ready. Wow, I see someone has already registered. That's good for you. Yeah, so coming up next, right, we have Teacher Olga. Who is she? Yeah, of course, she's someone I've not met personally. I hope to see her in person when I have the chance. Yeah, so let me introduce her. Yep. So I'll be very, very honest, very honored to invite Teacher Olga. Yeah, she's from Ukraine, and she also own a business consulting firm, and she's also one of our SCIM speakers. She created a successful language business. Not only successful business, this business is self-managing team, which state even though when it's so, wow, this is so amazing, right? I think this is what people want. Yeah, and not only that, right? She used this teaching that she have learned, applied in her daily life, and also increase her productivity. While maintaining all this, right, she has world-life balance. She can have holiday, she can spend time with her friends and family, traveling around Europe for 2 weeks. So how many of us can actually do that? Yeah, so she's someone very amazing. And of course, I feel very excited to hear from her. So if you feel excited, what should we do? Where's our love, our flowers to our teachers? I think we also have to give our flowers to Teacher Brian as well, right, for his amazing sharing. Yeah, so to welcome our teacher, we really must give them lots of flowers and love to welcome them on stage, right? If not, they probably feel that you guys are not around anymore. Okay, so I will pass over the time to you, Teacher Olga.
Okay, thank you, Charmaine, and thank you, Brian, for such a wonderful presentation and speech. And I, again, convinced that how incredibly DCIG and SCIM work together, our field, because things I will be talking about today, they a little bit resonated to what Brian said. So you will see like one flow of from Brian to my speech. And in my speech, I would like to share with you my experience, and I'm inviting you to share your experience and explore about your own leadership what style you are having now, what problems they might be caused, and you may be even not see those problems, but you will be aware of them. And of course, we will talk about how to become a true leader. So I'm inviting you again to dive a little bit in your experience, and I will lead you through my experience as well. So thumbs up if you're ready, and please be very active in the chat so I will adapt my speech according to your replies. So I don't know, maybe you were as well as me, but since childhood, I knew that I will be a business owner. We were playing like children, and I was a teacher teaching English. And already then I was the boss of bosses. And of course, I had a couple of role models that impacted my personal leadership. So let's dive into your experience. What leaders, what role models you had in your life? And first role model in my life was my dad. He was a leader of in one of mining companies in our country, and mining is a very tough business. So he was, of course, demanding, controlling, tough, strict, and he wanted people to do what he tells him to do. And sometimes it was necessary in this business because he was responsible for people's lives. Nevertheless, there was some tension and some restriction in his relationship with his subordinates and with his staff. And I knew because I was visiting his company, and I saw people telling him yes, yes, and behind the door they were telling like, I will do what I want to do, and you are not the one who tells me what to do. And on the other side, he was an incredible leader who united around him great team, and who, if you know this term like plan, a company has a plan for an year, and this company should give a couple like tons of coal of a year. So they made 3-4 times this plan more than it was required. So he was my first role model. And of course, I decided that I need to be tough, strict, and demanding. And later, when I started my next level to my business, I was working as an assistant in a sewing company. And it was a lady, and she gave me another role model, feminine role model. Of course, she was, again, controlling, demanding, and but she managed to build trust, more trust, and she was impacting more. So again, at this time, already at this time, it was a switch in my conscious, like she less controls, she's controlling less, but people still do what she wants them to do. How is that? She's not restricting, she is not as tough, but they are still doing it. And exactly at that time, I started wondering, maybe, like Geshe Michael says, maybe there is something else. There is a deeper course for being a good leader and being less directive. So type in the chat, have you ever met in your life person like my dad or person like my boss leader in a sewing company? And the third person who impacted, thank you, Brian, impacted my leadership style, it was total paradox. At that time, before I started my own business, I was working in a company which was giving a service of teaching English and German and other languages. And we had two leaders. One of them, again, she was too controlling. She wants us to do what she asks us to do, and she wanted us to meet her expectations. So we kind of had a fear not to meet her expectations and lose that wonderful job. That was a real paradox, but later became even more paradox. She was encouraging us be critical to each other, but we were not. We were appreciating each other. We were sharing experience with each other. We were helping each other. And she couldn't understand why still control, demand, being tough, even applying fear to us, her staff still not quarreling, no conflicts. And later, a few people only left after a few years my work there. And exactly that time, because I was working like 12 hours a day, Monday to Saturday, I was really burnt out. Even having a place and job I was inspired by and enjoying with. Once I even came, I remember, to chemistry and asked, can you give me anything like to calm me down? Otherwise, I will just bite my students. So I had so much tension from one side from my boss, and on the other side from myself, like pushing myself to do work much better to meet her expectations. And finally, I became, like at the beginning of my business, I became a combination of these three leaders. And I made a decision that I will control, but will try to do it in a feminine way. And I will try to build trust with my team. So the better atmosphere, the better results, and the more satisfied clients and higher income. And that all I tried to apply in my first business. And I became a leader who focuses on inspiring and motivating employees, but motivation again over due to control. And I was empathizing on shared purpose and corporate alignment and long-term organizational evolution. So I wanted them to, like Brian told, apply people who are smarter than you. So I used this advice from Henry Ford, and I hired people who were smarter than me. But the team, self-managing team, appeared not from the first time. And I was so much controlling because I knew I know better. Who knows better than anyone else? Me. And you need to do what I ask you to do. You need to teach the way, only the way I want you to teach. And that over control and over pressure, and again a little bit maybe fear, made me lose my first quite good teachers. And when I lost my teachers and I was sitting, having already two offices, lots of students, and I didn't know really what to do. I was not only upset, I was just lost. And that time I occurred that my over control makes people leave me. Already that time, it wasn't that time like we had in Soviet Union. If you don't like, go away, we will have more people than you want. Your place will always be occupied, even with the better people. Not everywhere, but due to my mental seeds, I saw these examples. And then I decided to do it in a different way. And only that time, my great staff, I can't say even staff, my company, they appeared. And I started delegating them celebrations, finances, and I had no question about it. And groups formatting, even when I was studying in UK, it was very hard for me not to text with them every day, but only once a week. You just don't understand how hard it is, like in my mind. Right, how find out what's going on, how many people they have, how much money they have earned, what are the forecast for the autumn, because we were having groups in summer to prepare for autumn, which is really season through autumn to the spring, and summer is usually kind of not. And another part was telling like, Olga, calm down. You decided to do it differently. And somehow that worked. I thought it was luck. I didn't know how it worked with that business, that I got perfect self-managing team, perfect clients, students with the parents of small students, yes, and people who I can trust, who I can delegate, and I can go to have a holiday and not to worry about anything else. And two more things made me think about it even more. When I was selling my first business, my great companies, my great partners, they said, we will stay here and we will continue your business, your values, your method. And from one hand, I was like surprised, and I had a fear like, maybe they are telling me that just to calm me down. And on the other hand, I was really proud, and it gave me a sign that I became a leader for this couple of partners, for this couple of ladies who decided to stay. Moreover, all students stayed there. All parents said that we will stay here and we will study with your teachers. And it was for me second sign that something is going on here, but I couldn't explain exactly what. What are true, deep reasons to create such a successful business with a growing income, perfect dream self-managing team with perfect clients, no delays in payment, no postpones, a lot of trust. Even small students like school girls and school boys, they were trusting me their secrets. That was a third sign for me. Why is that happening? At first, I could explain it like I'm empathetic, I'm kind to them, I'm for them. But on the other hand, I knew lots of my colleagues who were who had same personality and who were behaving the same and treated their clients and students the same way. But they didn't trust them their secrets. It may be in your leadership career at home or in company, you could only notice that two equal people with good traits of characters, but they get absolutely different results. So maybe something different and deeper is going on here. And it is not about being kind, of course, but there is something deeper. It's not only being kind, not only being about sympathetic, not only care about other people, But there is something deeper below this willing, below this wish, which gives you a true leadership. When you see other people do what you ask them to do without asking them to do. Wow, who would like that to have in your company or in your family as well? And finally, about my last business, when one of my teachers, she finally decided to open her own language school, and guess who she called first? She called me and she asked me to help her. And it was another sign for me that I became a role model, and more people can get a perfect service in starting and in teaching. Of course, at the beginning, I'm trying to be honest. I thought, why should I help her? She will be a competitor to the business I have already sold. But the place I was living in, it was quite big, and she was opening her language studio absolutely in another place, absolutely like another direct. And I'm glad that wise sort of go and help her share your own experience and make her be another leader for other people. And then we met, and I shared with her my experience, and we had a very nice, great conversation. And even now, since it has passed like more than 12 years ago, it was, my partners, they still text me, and we congratulate each other on birthdays. So again, it is about relationship, only not like boss and employee. It is about relationship, person to person, human to human, because everyone makes mistakes, everyone has wishes, and truly somewhere deep in our hearts, we want to be in service for other people and make their life much better. And I think, and I'm convinced that our role of leaders is to help others, to open their true potential and help them to help others, which will help them as well be much better, be much happier, much more successful in different areas of their life. And another thing is, I've noticed that this control, it impacted myself. I don't know if someone will tell about it, but I think a little bit I will give you insight of it. I've noticed that I started talking to myself in a tough and a demanding way. So who noticed it as well? I started controlling myself. I started demanding and requiring myself to be perfect and not to make any mistakes. Otherwise, I'm a loser. No one will love me. Otherwise, I'm not a leader. And to make a long story short, it brought me to more tension, more stress, and 2 burnouts. One burnout was like in the morning, I couldn't even get out of my bed, and just leave me alone. I don't want no money, no clients. I just want to have some rest. And I was afraid to meet my own expectations. And when our life in our heart becomes like a battlefield between mind and heart, and it is not already about the leadership, it is about not living through mission and you're not through love, through life. It is already about losing your true self. And another thing in family, I have noticed it as well. You know, I told you about my father. And what happens when one controller meets another control. Oh my God, it's like clash of interests, clash of characters. Yes, Brian, thank you. And lots of resistance. He just, I want you to do the way I want you to do, live this life, that life, do this, and I'm just resisting. No, I will never do it. It's not my way, and just sparks fly. And one day I understood that it goes just nowhere, and someone should stop it. And I decided that it should be me. And fortunately, that time I already knew about mental seeds, and I understood that I was realizing that the way I see him goes from my mental seeds, and I started planting another mental seeds to see him more kind, more open, and more warm to myself. And also I decided to think that and to put myself in his shoes, to see him as a dad who truly wants the best for his daughter. By the way, who has or maybe had problems with your parents? And I understood that it is his way to make sure that I'm okay in my life. It is his way to make sure that he just wants to know that I am happy, I am safe, and I'm healthy. And that gave me some exhale. And from that moment, I started creating my other mental seeds. And how they opened? They opened that my relationship with my dad are now much more calm, much more heartful, much more warm, like 75%, I guess, already done. And only 25 is left. And 25 was nothing with the 75 comparing like that. Yes, problems, parents last time, more problems. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Alvin. And when I started studying this mental seed, these true causes behind on the deeper level, what makes a true leader, it helped me also to create and find the laws which helped me to create another two self-managing teams. At first, helping my teacher in her financial project, and secondly, in my another again language project, but it is like a cooperation. And this self-managing team is absolutely different. I know what I need to do, how I need to treat other people. So I created these two self-managing teams. And for me, that time, it was not a surprise. It was a law. It was an effect of treatment I gave other people. And it was like, I need this task, I need this manager, and like, I won't do it, I can do it. Okay, I will do this. Okay, do it. Just give me the result and show me what's going on. And I didn't spend too much time on controlling. Of course, and now there is a balance. It is, and now for me, I have another task to keep this control, trust, balance. And again, having and knowing these true deep causes, which can help to create this self-managing team, is helping me a lot. And next, third, yes, like the third option or third result is I became less critical to myself. I became more appreciated by myself, and by giving values to other people as well. And I value my time, my experience, my skills, and I do not demand from myself more than I can do now on a certain level. Who is suffering or who noticed that you are critical to yourself? Who has ever noticed that you are not satisfied in the evening, sitting and thinking that I'm not good leader, or I haven't done enough, or I'm not enough? That is all because there are deeper levels for these thoughts and for that feeling. But when you find out what are true deeper causes for this, you will get more satisfaction. And guess what happens when you get more satisfaction from yourself, from your company you are doing, or from the project you are running, or from the relationship you are now with kids, parents, with your partner? The world will show you more enjoyment and more happiness in your relationship and family, more prosperity in your company, more self-managing with your team, and more ideas, more creative ideas, and more options to scale or to impact in your business. And that is, again, what we were studying during MBA program. My colleagues were asking, is it so difficult to become a leader? And fortunately, that time I already knew about these mental seeds, those true deep causes, and I shortly explained them that you do not need that power, control, too many resources to make your team reach or cover a company's goals, needs, and values. You need to start with creating those mental seeds, and everything else will be for you much easier then. So if any of this resonates to you, so I invite you and encourage you to join DCI Level 8. And you learn and you apply, which is very highly important. You can apply how personally you can create trust, influence, and lasting impact in business and in home. So I know there are some links and you can apply them. And if you have any questions, I'm open. If you have still some time, I'm open to answer them. And thank you again for listening and for your active participation.
Oh, Teacher Olga, you want to do the Q&A now? Because when you asked, Harry raised his hand. Or you want to do it later?
Yes, if we have some time,
so,
I'm ready.
Yeah, we have.
Okay. Thank you for the time. So I have a question. Actually, there's a lot of question, but I will describe them all then. Thank you. Usually, there is a leader using a control, and there is also a leader with using trust to lead. What if a leader that using control want to shift to a leader based on trust to lead, but at the same time his teams is the trust is already at the rock bottom? That's the first question. Another question, usually in one company there is a person who like to control a lot. Let's say it's a supervisor or senior or something like that. When that happens, let's say we are the leader, then what should we do as the leader? And if we are not the leader of them, then what we also should do? And the fourth question is, what mental seeds that we need to plant for automatic leadership, and where to plant that mental seeds? That's my question. Thank you.
Wonderful question. Thank you very much. Okay, let's start from the bottom, from the third question. What mental seeds to plant? You will learn at DCI 8 level, because it goes about personal situation, and each participant of DCI level 8 will find and sort his own tools, how to plant, what to plant, and where to plant these mental seeds. Second question, if there is someone who wants to control, I would go with the bottom level, like try to find out, like me with my dad, try put yourself into his shoes or into her shoes and understand why this person wants to control. Usually there is a fear, there are lots of options. Some of them like fear to lose control, fear to lose position, fear not to be loved, fear not to be appreciated, or vice versa, a will to be appreciated, and fear and a high wish to be valued. Yes, just find out. And if this person wants to be valued, just give this person value and you will see what will happen. And as for first question and to the second question again, at DCI level 8, you will learn how to change this person. As soon as you find out why you see this person like too much controlling and demanding, you will learn your own reasons, yes, why you see this person like too much controlling and demanding. And you will then, you can make a plan how to change this person. Then you follow this plan and see how the person changes. It may take some time, but be patient with lots of love to yourself, to person, to the company where you work, keeping in mind like high goal and vision, elevate this plan. And the first question, if someone wants to trust, yes, give more trust. If I may understand correctly, you're talking about like person wants to delegate something more with trust, and another person resists it. If I'm correct? No? And usually there is leader with using control, and there is also leader with using trust. Control, trust. What if leader with using control want to shift to leader trust based, but rock bottom. So okay, I guess there is it is about balance, control and trust, and not to drop on the way like I'm out of control, I trust you completely, do what you want. And it will turn your company in complete house, like Brian told us already. So it's difficult to give advice because I don't know if this person is you or not, but let's talk about then two options. If this person is you, I would advise you to make a vision, make a picture who you are, having this balance of trust and control, perfect balance. And then you can create it and shifting slowly, step by step, to this balance. And of course, to find out what exactly doesn't let you to give lack of this control, to give it up, yes, to loosen it. If it is another person, the situation is much easier. Again, at DCI level 8, you will find out, yes, again, find out what makes you to see these two contractions, yes, and make a plan and follow it and execute it with love and support to yourself, company, and other leaders. Hope this satisfied you. Yes, yes, there is a rule. Yeah, thank you, Brian. Nothing is permanent, everything change, and you can change it absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much to Teacher Olga and Harry's question. I think, Harry, you really must find time to personally meet Gershon Michael in Singapore in July. Yeah, really make your time and ask him every single question that you have. Yeah, really, really just plan and make it happen. Okay, so I think we had a wonderful session together with Teacher Olga as well. I think Teacher Olga, right, she's very wise. Since young, she said she wanted to be a business owner. How many of us is actually like that? We have big dreams, but as we grow older, right, we forgot about our dreams. But Teacher Olga is very wise and she made it happen. Okay. But anyway, so Teacher Olga shared about her personal stories, how her leadership journey is, and a lot of things. And through different aspect of leadership, relationship, through burnout, building different businesses and all these things, right, actually help her to discover leadership comes from something deeper, something like trust, understanding, empowerment, and how we treat people. Yeah, and she also tells us that leadership is not about leading others, it's about how we want to treat ourselves as well. She become less controlling and quick towards herself, and her relationship with her teams became better and better. Yeah, so I hope, right, we both of us we have learned from both of us another warm love. Yeah. Okay, so teacher can really, really feel us, right? Yeah. So next time when we have chance, we must also listen from them once again. Yep. So I think before I forget, okay, the IT has been reminding me we should take a picture together. Yeah, why do we need to take pictures? First thing, to create memories, good memories, because we come from different part of the world. Yeah, with this platform only we can meet different people, right? We have people from Arizona, from Mexico, from Taiwan, and Ukraine. Yeah, so let us take pictures. Can our IT help us?
Okay.
We can do four. Yeah, then yeah, this is our trade. Kachi, are you helping us, is it? Oh, who is helping us?
Yeah, I'm doing. Okay, one,
Oh, okay, Chris.
2, 3.
Okay.
Okay, wait, hold on. I think there's
Oh,
two
one more
page.
time. Yeah.
Two
So when we
page.
actually, thank you.
Okay, wait, I go to another page. Okay, one more time, the second page. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I think I see everyone on camera, right? Yeah. So you guys camera in a session like this, you're planting seeds for your customers to see you. Okay, so moving on. I think we had a lot of questions that we want to ask our speakers, right? So if you have any questions, feel free to write in the chat box, or you can actually unmute, raise your hand, and then we'll help you to unmute personally to both. They are willing to answer all your questions, all these opportunities to ask from great teachers. Anyone? Oh. Oh, is it because Harry has asked all the questions for us already? Yeah, and then because I say, right, hey, we should ask Gershon Michael personally, it means nobody dare to ask questions already. Then I'm so sorry to both teachers. They want to ask Gershon Michael personally.
Hey, that's not fair. We have been trained by Geshe Michael too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so if we really have no questions, I would like this. Calling one, calling twice. If you don't ask those questions, right, then you cannot sleep. Then you better ask now. Oh, Linda, come over.
Okay. Well, Charmin, I think I asked the teacher, whoever who can help me. I missed some part of it, but maybe both of you can help me. What if some of our agent is like not motivated, or they're just not performing? And how can we motivate them so that they do not feel like we are pushing them? Because I'm in property agency, so they are based on commission, they do not get paid. And how to motivate this kind of agent?
Hey,
Okay, thank you.
yeah,
Thank
so
you.
maybe I see maybe Teacher Brian. Okay, Teacher Brian can go first for this first question.
Sure. Yeah, I would also love to invite Teacher Olga to share if she also has something to do. What I would say is something to say, sorry. What I would say is try to find out more about them. Like really have a healthy, natural interest in their lives. Why are they not motivated? What's behind that lack of motivation? Is it like, do they have a problem, personal problems at home? Or maybe they just don't like this job. Maybe they don't like what they're doing. Or maybe it's just that the results are not the kind that they would like to have. And there's something that you can help them, maybe give them advice. But before that, if you express genuine interest in their lives and you really know what the problem is, then I think it's easier to attack the problem. And yeah, I think if we go back to the first talk, we can see that not considering like these people have also feelings, and they also have needs, and they also have uh, personal problems and families and everything. If we don't see that, then it's harder for us to really identify what they're going through, because everybody's going through something. I mean, we can see, especially now in social media, right? People share their happy moments and everything is beautiful and everybody's successful and everybody never have bad days. But that's not true. That's really not true. Even the richest person in this world, I'm sure they have problems. I'm sure they are suffering from something, you know? They're going through something. So if we keep that in mind and we then develop some interest in those people that are in that team member that is lacking motivation, then there are two things are going to happen. Number one, they will realize that you care. And because you care for them, they will care for you and the business. The second one is you will find out really what's going on. And then you can give them a hand with what's happening. And maybe you cannot solve their problems, right? Maybe it's something bigger. But the fact that you are already thinking of them, it's a big help. A lot of people, all they need is just talking, just to talk, just to express what's going on in their lives, what's going on. And that's something that we lack a lot nowadays. I know I do lack of it. Like people talking, and then you're watching the phone, you're reading something else, you're thinking of something else, and we're not listening anymore. I know I do it. I can see when I do it, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't be doing this, you know? But we gotta retrain our minds to 1992 or 1995 when cell phones were not a big thing, or computers, right? And you have to rely on conversations with people to really have a good moment. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. I don't know if teacher Olga wants to add something.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you, Brian. Such a wonderful advices. And I would just add and put into more details the advice that Brian have already given, like talk to people and start being interested in their interest. It is what helped me to create self-managing team in my first business. You are, Linda, a very lucky person. You meet people offline. You can feel them. You can talk to them. And it is your advantage. So find out what their interests also in life is, where they are striving, what they are striving for, where they are going, and help them to get it, to deliver it through your company, opening their potential in your company. Because most people want self-realization, and somehow they don't know how to do it. And you are, as the owner, you know all the details of your business. You can give them small hints how they can realize themselves in your business, and embroad them, and thus you may create great masters in your business as well. Another thing is I separate two things like motivation and inspiration. Motivation, from my point of view, is what people do not want to get in their life and they go far from it. Like, I want money. Why? Because I don't want to be poor. I want money because I don't want this. Yeah, I want to want to open my potential to 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 deliver my parents that I'm worthy of something. And vice versa, inspiration, it is to something, like not from, but to where they're going, like I said, what they are striving for, what they want, and why. In this case, you can somehow correlate their why with your business big why. Show them how they meet together, and they will feel being part of your business. Like you have a mission, help them to become a part of your mission. Third option, maybe, like Brian said, they are not satisfied with their job, and maybe this is not a job they want to do. In this case, just let them go with I did it. I'm talking only about my personal experience. I had such experience when someone came, I want to work, and when I started testing, I see that this is not the place where a person can be happy. And I want people who work with me be happy, because everyone is happy around. And I just let that girl go, and created my perfect partners in my first company. So, and in this case, just find out who you want to work with, who are your ideal staff, and with the help of DCI-8, you can create staff and your leadership, which will help your company to go on the next level, serving people to get their best homes and flats and apartments for their happy life. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, teachers, for the answer. Yeah, I think I hope Linda, you get your answers right. Yep, great. So we still have some time. Any more questions for our teachers? Oh, yeah.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, hi, over to Celine.
Okay. I've been in the seed system, thankfully, for quite many years, and I'm really grateful to Geshe Michael and all the teachers for teaching us this wonderful system. So my situation is, I've just joined this new company, and the style of this boss is completely different from what you mentioned just now, Brian. He is micromanaging he is asking me to almost monitor the staff on an hour-to-hour basis, which is really intense on top of the other tasks that I have to do, right? And he also feels that in order to lead the team, you have to be the best of the team. Otherwise, you shouldn't be leading. So my leadership is not that style at all. And thankfully, learning seeds, I can have this perspective. Thankfully, I'm so grateful. I think without seeds, I would be really going mad by now. So thankfully, by learning this system, I know that this is an opportunity for me to work on the roots of a lot of all these causes that I have not been able to pull out before. And I also practice gratitude to him, to the staff in the company for giving me this opportunity. Now, my question is, do you have any advice for me? In the meantime, I know that everything bad will pass as well, completely. In the meantime, what can I do? And I'm like Olga at that point where I feel I have to take muscle relaxant to relax my body because I'm so tense all the time and like on a firefighting mode all the time. So, teachers, if you can advise me, thank you.
Wow, I think you mentioned teacher Olga. So I think this question, right, we can start with teacher Olga first.
I'm happy to share this stage with Brian as well. So let's go again from the bottom. Just appreciate yourself, value yourself, and say, I'm a great person, because you are already working on it. Because you know that there are roots for it, and you are doing something with it. You are maybe 1 for billion people who are not accusing your boss, maybe somewhere in your mind, yes, because we still have this habit. But you have already taken your responsibility to change the situation. And this is a massive, massive shift in your perspective for nearest days, weeks, or months. And this is to start like self-love. Give yourself time, go to massage if you can, go for a park, enjoy moments, enjoy fresh air, listen to music, dance, take up hobby. Maybe there is something you have dropped, but you would love to get back to it. Take it up, and it will help you to feel yourself happy. Do something which will help you to feel happy. When you are happy, you will share this happiness with other people, and you will see that other people more support you. And one day your boss will change. Just trust me, like with my father. I thought before I started studying DCIG mental system, I thought he will never change, never. And I was just desperate in my soul, like if it never happens again, if it will never change. But step by step, be patient. And the one thing, keep in focus the picture when everything is already sorted out, when everything changed and everyone is happy, and you are best as well as other best in your team, and your boss as well is best. And gratitude to your boss who is helping you to open yourself as a true diamond for others. Thank you. Wonderful question.
Hey, thank you to teacher Olga. I think certainly you have your questions answered. Okay, go and get yourself relaxed. Okay, so I think we are coming almost to the end of the sessions. We have been talking a lot of things about automatic leadership, Singapore, and I think some of you may be asking, what is this level 8? What is this Singapore thing coming about? Okay, let me tell you. Okay, coming up in Singapore, 3rd of July to 5th of July, Gershie Michael will be personally coming to Singapore to teach this automatic leadership. Okay, for those who have not attended this class and you really want to go in deeper to understand more, right? This is definitely the place because all of us that we have been sharing for these 20 sessions, right? We learn directly from Gershie Michael. And the best teacher to learn is definitely learning directly from Gershie Michaels. Yeah, so I think you should take this picture down, make your plan, and to make it happen to see Gershie Michael in person if you have not met him. If you have met him, I think you also want to see him because it has been 6 years before coming to Malaysia. I would say Southeast Asia. Yeah. So I really we can other that. And I think not only that, to go in deeper and understand so stressful. Okay, so the sessions are marathon up and going information, right? You keep the photo, take a snapshot at the Institute and Sedona College International. You can follow this page to get all the updated informations, or even you can ask your friends invited you sessions. They can give you the latest update information. And if you really want to attend this level 8 class, right, go and ask your friend who have invited you tonight, how do I get registered? Okay, you can ask your friend and then you say, I just want to make it happen. I want to make my leadership fun and no longer stressful anymore. Okay, so I hope to see you all follow this Facebook page. Only this. Okay, this Friday, the 4th session. You see me today, and you're also seeing on Friday at the This time around, we have Ivy, Teacher Ivy, and Teacher Gek Ling. Teacher Gek Ling is a high corporate director in managing thousands of people. Yeah, and definitely she will, all these teachers, right, have their own experience to share with us and help us to become a better leader. Okay, so I will see all of you at the same time, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Friday, same Zoom. Okay, so I'll see all of you and have a good rest. And remember to follow our YouTube channel to get all the replay as well. Thank you, everyone. See you on Friday.
Thank you,
Thank
children. Thank
you.
you, all teacher.
Bye-bye.
Great day. Goodbye.
Teachers
Good
and
night.
Thank you.
volunteers. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I removed them to, I think, any more meeting?
We end meeting here already. No meeting.
Okay.
Hey, Kai Chi,
Yeah, why?
for Saturday and Sunday start at 2:30, right? 2:30 also need to report at 2, huh?